Welcome. You're listening to The Aligned Self, Conversations in Creating a Conscious and Abundant Life. This is Daniel Denovi. I'll be your guide and host. Let's see just where we can take this. Hello, friend, and welcome into this Quotable Monday. And yes, if you've been following along, this is the third Quotable Monday in a row, with very few, if actually no episodes in between. Now, I'm not being lazy. Even though it appears that way, I actually have other things I do in my life, other things that I do in my business. The podcast is just one of many things. And I told myself a long time ago that I would only do the episodes if it came from my heart, if I was inspired to do them. And I have to admit, my attention has been elsewhere, working one-on-one with clients and creating content to add to my membership, The Vault. But as promised, coming up right after this episode, the rest of this week and next week and the rest of the month, are episodes centered on, focused on, manifesting, law of attraction. In fact, today's quote is going to be also tied to law of attraction. The quote that we're featuring today is, "Be responsible for the energy you bring into the room." Be responsible for the energy you bring into the room. Now, this is from Jill Bolte-Taylor. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Taylor, but she is a neuroanatomist. In 1996, she suffered a cerebral hemorrhage, a stroke. And 8 years later, she talked about her recovery and the stroke from her perspective as a neuroanatomist. Her TED Talk, called or entitled A Stroke of Insight, was the first TED Talk to go viral. It has since been viewed 27 million times. Now, her story is really interesting, and especially from my point of view, when I look at it from self-concept, self-identity, because after her stroke, she literally had to relearn who she was. She forgot the majority of her past, her upbringing. She had no bad memories. And so she was literally able to recreate herself from a whole new perspective. That's a different story. But while she was convalescing, while she was in the hospital, she became very aware of the energy of the people that were coming in and out of her room, the doctors, the nurses, the visitors. Each person had their own energetic signature. And in her heightened state of awareness, because she had a stroke on the left side of her brain, which meant that her right side was amplified, her intuitive side, her empathetic side. She was very aware of the energy in the room. And she literally had to put a sign on the front door or the door of her room saying, "Be responsible for the energy you bring into the room." Because some people's energy was downright debilitating, would actually drain her of energy, and other people were uplifting. And she even went so far as to restrict access to certain people. She didn't want them in the room because they sucked her energy. How would you like to be told, "Dude, you can't come in here. I can't stand your energy"? Have you even considered what it's like for other people to be with you, to be in your space? Now, most people are not aware of their energy signature. They're not aware of the energy they bring into the room, and they're not aware of the energy that other people bring into their space. Sometimes after the fact, they can point to it, that person is an energy vampire. But I love this quote because it speaks to our own personal responsibility for the energy, the thoughts, the emotion we bring not only to the room, but to our relationships, to our friendships, to our job, any of the situations, our environments. Now, your environments soak up your energy also. And I'll speak to that at the end of the podcast, but understand that as a spiritual being having a human experience, you not only receive energetic input, intuitive guidance, energy from your space, but also you broadcast energy. You have an energy signature. In fact, the sum total of all your thoughts, your identity, how you're being, is your energy signature. It is unique unto you. Now, I'll go into deeper detail in following episodes coming up very soon when I talk about manifesting, law of attraction, vibration, and frequency. But your dynamic energy, your frequency, your vibration is your point of attraction. How you're being, how you show up in a room, how you show up in your life, how you show up in your own thoughts when you're driving in the car, in the shower. Your vibration is the sum total of your thoughts, your emotions, and the alignment within your body. When I speak about the aligned self, it is the aligning of your heart, your emotions with your mind, your thoughts, and your body, your actions. And that vibration, that frequency is what attracts the things in your life that you're attracting, the things that are currently in your life, the circumstances, the events, the material aspects, those things you've attracted. And you continue to attract them based on how you're being, how you're projecting your energy. And this energy signature supersedes, overpowers anything that you say, anything that you intend that isn't backed up with emotional support, emotional vibration. So this is why it's very important for you to be responsible for your energy, because it impacts every area of your life. So I ask you this question. When you walk in the room, what are you bringing in to the room? How are you projecting to other people? Are you moving forward with a hidden agenda? Are you being truthful? Do you have integrity? All these things are picked up on in the energetic space, especially with the people that you are closest with, those intimate relationships. Ultimately, you cannot hide who you are. You cannot hide who you're being, although sometimes people do. They try and hide that. But the energy that you bring to the situation, the energy that you bring to your life, the energy that you bring to the room, you are responsible for that. And you cannot hide it. We try. Sometimes we try, but that shows up as being inauthentic. And you all know someone that is inauthentic, and sometimes it's us. Sometimes people come to me and they say, I'm saying the affirmations, I'm doing all the work, I'm putting it out there, yet it's still not coming. The things I want to manifest aren't showing up in my life. Well, you need to look at a deeper level. What is the vibration that you're bringing to the situation? What is the energy, the real nuts and bolts energy underneath the words, underneath the facade? What is the sponsoring energy that's there? Once you attune to that energy, and again, we're going to dive deeper into this in an episode just around the corner at a much deeper level, but begin thinking about what is the energy that you're bringing to your life? What is the energy that you're bringing to your relationships? Are you showing up 100% committed, 100% responsible? Because if you're not, it's being perceived that way. Again, you cannot hide your energy. And sometimes people find that really scary. They're intimidated. As if, sometimes when you're in the presence of a psychic and you don't want your thoughts to be read, you don't want to be peered at that intimately. It doesn't take a psychic to do that. You're being perceived all the time, whether you think you are or not. Your energy is being picked up on. Some people, yes, are more attuned than others, but your energy, your vibration, your frequency is creating everything in your life. And I need to add, the people in your life, the energy they're bringing to the situation contributes to your overall dynamic. The environment that you're in contributes to your energy, to your vibration. The events and circumstances you engage in also contribute to your energy, to your vibe, to your frequency. And I have prescriptions on how to clean that up, but that will be in the podcast episode, probably 3-4 down the road here, as we get deeper into manifesting and the dynamics around all that in the law of attraction. Now, I have to tell you that I love the interplay of the universe. When things pop into my head and they pop into my wife's head, and then we share, common ideas, and it's just always boggles my mind that everything's planned out or supported in such minute detail. She didn't know I was going to be doing this particular episode, and she came to me this morning with a dream. I'm not going to tell you the details of the dream, but the message of the dream for her was that she needed or was supposed to expand her presence in the world. Now, you may not know this, but my wife is a Sacred Home Alchemist. She works with people's homes and residences in order to clean up the energy and also counsel them because, like I said before, you're bringing energy into the room. You're contributing to the dynamic in your household. So she has an in-depth interview to find out what you're contributing to the environment, and then she gives you a prescription. She reads remotely the energy of your house, the energy of your domain, and then she has a prescription on how to clean it up. She has things for you to do, and she can actually energetically do some things remotely to clear that energy, to clear the detrimental energy. Now, like I said, she's been called to give this more widely or present herself more widely because, frankly, for a few years now, she's just worked by referral. I mean, you had to be referred by someone who had worked with her previously. She just didn't and hasn't, set it out and made it available to everybody. And the reason I'm mentioning it here is that she's going to make her services available for 50% off of what she normally charges. Now, each and every person that she works with is an investment of 3 to 4 hours of her time. Sometimes some of that is with you and some of it is not with you. You're not present. She's just doing it remotely. But since this is a substantial investment of her time and energy to support you, she is limiting the number of people that she'll actually be working with. So while this is going widely, when she has or feels that her calendar is full enough, she's going to tell me to pull the plug on the offer. And so this may end without notice. It will end without notice. There will be no fanfare. It's like, I'm done, and I'm just going to handle my referrals from now on. But if you want to get in, if you want to be one of the few that has your residence cleared, your energy amplified, transmuted, cleaned up, then go to whois.Daniel.com, click on the links, and register today, just to make sure you get in, because you may not get in if you wait. But she has cleaned up several homes. There was one of my clients, in fact, had difficulty selling his house. It was supposed to be on the market, and all the deals were falling through in a very hot real estate market. And he didn't know why. So I had him send my wife a hand-drawn diagram of the house, the floor plan of the house, and she did a remote viewing, a scan of the house. And she brought up a dog, a barking dog. And it just so happens that they had a dog that had died, but was still there. The energy of the dog was still there, and it kept barking at all the strange people coming into the house. And those people perceived it as unwelcoming. There was also a water issue, which later turned out to be a broken sewer line, which had to be repaired before they could actually sell the house. But after her reading, and they cleaned up the energy, he sent the dog on its way and actually allowed the dog to come with them because he was moving, and the dog wanted to be with him. And so he invited the dog to go with him and is still, as far as I know, sleeping at the end of his bed. But within 30 days of her cleaning up the energy of the house sold. So what kind of energies might be in your residence? If you've recently bought the house, there may be residual energy from previous owners. It might have been the result of a divorce or some kind of separation or even a death. And that vibration, that residual energy, that residual dynamic is still in the space. Now, each and every one of you have walked into a space, a room, an environment, and been put off by the vibe. When I say put off, it was off-putting, not off-putting, like I'm digressing here. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't enjoyable. Like there's something wrong here. Sometimes you go to a party and you can sense the dynamic has shifted. Fear travels through a crowd like nothing else. Moments of anger or an argument will leave a residual signature in the space that needs to be cleared, transmuted. Now, some of that you can do on your own, and some of it my wife can assist with. But these energies left unattended can be detrimental to your health, can be detrimental to your mood, and your manifesting ability as well. You may have experiences in different parts of your house. Different parts of your house are more comfortable. Other parts, you just become fatigued. Like every time you walk into the room, every time you sit in that chair, oh gosh, you just get tired. Now, cats, oddly enough, are a great transmutator of energy. and they tend to go where the energy is detrimental. And you'll find them sleeping in an area because they transmute the energy of the space. They're mystical, magical that way. Now, don't worry, if you don't have a cat, you're not going to be suggested to get a cat. But I'm just saying that when the cats are there, they'll tend to gravitate to a particular spot because they're helping fix the energy of the space. When they sit on your chest, when they're drawn to you to sit on you, it's to absorb the negative energy and dissipate it. And what do? How do they dissipate it? They sleep. They sleep it off. In our residence, my wife picked up on the fact that we have underground streams. Those underground streams create a current of energy. There's also a fault line that runs across the front of the homes down our street. You can actually see it cracking the driveways in various places all down the street. She picked up on that, and there's another geofault that runs north and south through the house. And we did some things in order to circumvent that fault line or change that energy dynamic. And that made a huge difference. So, long story short, not everyone is a candidate for this. If you have an issue, you feel like there's an issue with your house and you want to find out or get to the bottom of it, so to speak, figuratively and literally, then you might be a candidate for this. But if there's nothing going on, if you feel comfortable, if you feel supplanted, supplied, and energized by your residence, by your house, then you're not a candidate by this. If you don't think there's anything going on, there's nothing to read. You're going to be disappointed. So like I said, my wife is going to make this available at a 50% rate, 50% discount, just to expand it out to the public. And you can find out more, get connected by going to whois.Daniel.com. And there'll be a link there that will lead to her website. We just talked about this, and she just threw it out. And I said, well, let me talk about it today, since it's in the theme, in alignment with the quote, be responsible for the energy you bring. So maybe you're not a candidate for this. Before I leave, I want to leave you with a couple things for you to do. One is go through your house and take an inventory. Go room by room, wall by wall. Does the room energize you? Does any spot in the room feel more comfortable or less comfortable? Are there any rooms in your house that you seem to avoid, or that you have accidents or things occur more often than not? Just, keep a record of that for now. Are there items in your house that you don't really like, that you've tolerated? Maybe someone gifted it to you, but you're not so keen on it. Maybe you're keeping it around because you don't want to offend someone. Well, sell it. Get rid of it. Give it to somebody else. It's going to be a perfect match for somebody else, I'm sure. The other thing you can look at, is there anything in your possession that is the remnant of an old relationship, something that is no longer in your life? It could be a past marriage. It could be a past lover, or some other aspect of your life that you put behind you. And when you're reminded of it, the energy was less than magnificent, but for some reason you don't want to give up whatever you have in your house. Well, you either need to transmute the energy around that, cut off your connection to the past. Now, I did a podcast episode. What was the title? I just looked it up. It was episode 102 on March 15th. Are people sucking your energy? Recall your energy back to you. So sometimes we need to disconnect. Sometimes we need to transmute it. Sometimes we just need to let go of that item. And you know what those things are. And sometimes we're oblivious to it because we haven't really been present to it. This is why you want to go room by room with a pencil and paper and write down the different aspects of each room. So whether or not you do this Sacred Home Alchemy with Kimberly, it's still beneficial for you to do this. Now, it's almost a prerequisite to do it with Kimberly because you need that background, you need that information. But it's also useful just for yourself. Is there anything you need to clean up? Is there anything? Because, again, you are responsible for your energy. So that's it for this Quotable Monday. Be responsible for the energy that you bring to the room. Be responsible for the energy you bring to the relationship, to your life, to every circumstance. You are at cause. You create your reality according to your vibration. You're manifesting your life at any given moment. We cannot not manifest. So, my friend, you can make your energy, your vibration, your frequency the paramount concern, the paramount focus of your life. It will do you good. Until next time, this is your friend and host, Daniel Danovi, urging you to follow your bliss. Live your life from inner signals. Be inner directed as you engage in the epic adventure.